The Winnipeg Jets take down the defending Stanley Cup champions, the Tampa Bay Lightning, and the streaky up and down Jets, who are a mile away from the playoffs, end up just punishing the Lightning on their road trip to Winnipeg. The Lightning find themselves in dark, gloomy, snowy, terrible, cold-weathered Winnipeg, where your coach Ryan D is from. They must not have liked the flight over because it was a rough game for the Lightning. So they'll get back on the plane. They'll head back to wherever they're heading back to. But this was a big game for the Winnipeg Jets and the Winnipeg Jets fans. This really isn't a big deal for the Tampa Lightning. So let's go ahead and let's break down the storylines of this game and what it may or may not mean for both teams, because we got a lot of fans of both on this channel. Jets fans, I'm going to start with Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay is one of the top 3 teams in the NHL right now. If you go ahead and take a look at my Stanley Cup rankings or my power rankings, I have the Bolts in the top 3, but I do not have them number 1. I still hold that place for the Carolina Hurricanes. Now, pump the brakes. If you haven't seen that video, there's very good reason. Go watch it before you roast me in the comments, or do what everybody else does and just read a headline and roast in the comments. We don't have attention spans anyway, right? So Tampa Bay, I am believing the narrative after 2 Stanley Cups. And when you hear stats like Patrick Maroon has played 74 playoff games in 3 years, and the rest of the Lightning have played quite a lot of playoff games, that you do start getting tired. And I know the drive for 3 is real and it's a real threat. And to be frank, if they hadn't won the last 2 Stanley Cups, I'd be favoring Tampa Bay here right now as well too. But when you look at their underlying statistics this year and games like this, they just don't look like the same team as the Carolina Hurricanes, in my opinion. But I could be dead wrong. When you look at the top 6 teams in the NHL, any single one of them could win the Stanley Cup hands down. And a whole bunch of analytics pundits and home fans will be like, I told you so. I told you that was the best team. Easy looking backwards. So the bold prediction right now is that Tampa's a top 3 team. I don't have him as 1, but if you have him as 1, I can't argue with that. And that's because when you look down the Tampa Bay Lightning offense, Jets fans, defense, and goaltending, it's pretty nasty. If you go player by player and compare their best player to our best player and then all the way down to the worst player, you're probably going to pick the Tampa Bay Lightning player every single time, to be honest. If you go ahead and take a look at goal scorers, do you want Kucherov or do you want Connor? I want Kucherov. If you want Connor, you let me know down below in the comments. Do you want Stamkos or do you want Schiefele? I want Stamkos. Do you want Braden Point or Pierre-Luc Dubois? That's a hard question. I want Braden Point every day of the week. It's not even close. Point was a lock for the Olympic team. He's an absolutely elite center. Guy is a phenomenal 2-way player. Look, Luc Dubois is our best forward. I've said it for a long time. I got the Doobie jersey going on right now. I love Dubois. Point's just a better player. Hedman versus Josh Morrissey, or literally any of our defensemen. It's Hedman. McDonagh versus our second defense. It's McDonagh. It's Sergachev. Hellebuyck or Vasilevskiy. It's Vasilevskiy. No matter where you go with this team, they end up beating you out. And even in the third line, I don't know if you knew this, Jets fans, but the Tampa Bay Lightning have the most productive third line in the NHL. Due to injuries and things of that matter, Maroon, Bellemare, and Perry, they've played about 400 minutes together this year. They are one of the top teams in the NHL for expected goals. But when you look down the rosters, Jets fans, hey, look, I'm a homer. I'm a huge homer. But when you look down the rosters, Tampa Bay is one of the best teams in the league when they decide they want to show up. And tonight, I'd argue they didn't really show up and they still put in 4. There's a lot of people talking about Connor Hellebuyck and his Connor Hellebuyck. I'm seeing trade Connor Hellebuyck. I mean, if you're saying that, you're just not a smart hockey fan. That's the end of it. You're dumb. And I don't mean to tell fans that, but there's nothing else I can say. I can't hold back on that. There's no reason to trade Hellebuyck. It's an absolutely ridiculous comment. It's one of the worst comments and takes I've ever heard in hockey. He's an absolute elite stud of goaltender. You're never going to replace a guy like that. So if you're on that plane or channel or wave of thinking, this probably isn't the hockey channel for you. It might be a little bit too intelligent, for the old hat rack. But McDonagh, Killorn, and Hedman get it done in the first period. And the Jets end up going up 3-1, which is fantastic. But we've seen the collapse from the Jets many times before. Everybody was panicking on the Discord. And speaking of the Discord, feel free to join below. We got a lot of great Jets fans engaged in dialogue every game, every day. I'm in there. It's the best way to get in touch with us. And also, don't forget that this channel is sponsored by BetUS. BetUS is open to Canadian and American residents over the age of majority to help bet and gamble on hockey recreationally. If you think the Tampa Bay Lightning are going to be the Stanley Cup favorites, why don't you head over to BetUS, smash a quick bet on the Tampa Bay Lightning. Let's see what they're paying right now. We're going to head over to BetUS.com. You're going to use the link down below. You're going to be able to see the Hot Garbage Sports logo here and promo code HGS, which gets you 125% sign up bonus for betting on hockey and sports books. This is exclusive to Hot Garbage Sports when you sign up. Go ahead, smash the join now button and join all the viewers and watchers of Hot Garbage Sports that are making it happen on BetUS. We log into our homepage. We head over here on the left to the NHL Stanley Cup odds, and we're going to go ahead and take a look at the Tampa Bay Lightning, who are playing plus 650. We go ahead, we simply type in our risk, and we find out that we are going to get paid back $325 USD. We smash place that bet, and we have a bet in for the Tampa Bay Lightning to win a Stanley Cup. It's that easy. Thanks for sponsoring us here at BetUS. 3-1, the Lightning come back. It's 3-3. And Jets fans are panicking. I'm panicking. People are tuning into curling. They're leaving. They're turning off the TV. Here comes the Tampa Bay march back. I mean, we got really nervous when Montreal did this to us. This has happened to us many times before, but the Jets stick with it, which is excellent. They're able to survive the second period with no goals, and it's wild to think there is 6 goals in the first period and no goals in the second. The Jets normally play a very poor and boring second period, but the Jets get out of here unscathed, which is huge for Winnipeg. And Connor Hellebuyck has a very good second period, and Andrei Vasilevskiy has an excellent second period as well. It's interesting seeing two of the best goalies in the world duel it out, and the score ends up being what it is. The Winnipeg Jets totally outplay them by outshooting them 11-4, but it's pretty tough. And I don't know if you noticed, but every time I watch Vasilevskiy play, it looks like he takes up the entire net. I know Hellebuyck's a big guy too. They're about the same size. Vasilevskiy just looks so intimidating, like a wall you're not going to beat. And yeah, the Jets put in a few empty net goals tonight, but they really did end up getting through Vasilevskiy. And a lot of them ended up being with rebounds and deflections. Vasilevskiy not controlling his rebounds, which is very uncommon for Andrei Vasilevskiy. I mean, if you head over to hockeyviz.com, you can see the heat maps here, and we're going to go ahead and pull one up for you. And what you notice is the Tampa Bay defense is amazing at keeping shots away from Vasilevskiy. So when you have such a good decor and such a good goalie, and you see those dark blue colors on the heat map that we have up here, they're getting below league average chances from the most prime scoring opportunities out there. And you're going, how are you going to beat a guy if you can't even get into the danger zones to score on one of the best NHL goalies? But the Jets figured that out tonight, which is massive. It's absolutely massive. 6 of the Jets' goals come from the low slot. And again, a couple of them were empty net goals, but all of the Jets' offense comes from the low slot, which is massive. That's how you win hockey games. You win hockey games from the low slot. You win hockey games by passing pucks across the Royal Road. You win hockey games with good power plays. And speaking of good power plays, Pierre-Luc Dubois on the power play ends up opening it up to make it 4-3 for Winnipeg. And that's all she ends up writing there. As the game progresses, Winnipeg doesn't lose the lead from that point out. Kyle Connor gets a shorthanded goal. And I've seen people question, hey, why is Connor on the penalty kill? You know, why don't you give it to a couple other guys? And that is because Connor has game-breaking speed. The penalty kill is all about speed, folks. Kyle Connor is one of the best players on the Winnipeg Jets for both intelligence and speed, which are 2 key attributes for it. And he turns pucks over better than anybody else. I know Nicky Ehlers is really fast as well too, but Connor is just a different animal when it comes to the penalty kill. And when it comes to being shorthanded, you want to have Kyle Connor out there as much as you can. And he shows why tonight because he scores again. I mean, what a beauty goal scorer. I know we said Kucherov or Connor, who do you want? And you're thinking like, are you crazy? Did you watch this game? I want Kyle Connor. It's Mr. 18 million over the cap. It's Nikita Kucherov all day until it's not. That's my opinion of that. But the Jets end up going 5-3 due to that beautiful shorty. And then Jon Cooper, who I think is a very good coach, by the way. And if we were comparing rosters before, I have Cooper above most coaches in the NHL as well, too, with the exception of Barry Trotz. I got Barry Trotz as number 1 right now. Brindamore's up there as well. Cooper's up there. But I got Trotzy. Look, I know Islanders fans. Like, you're not a fan of Trotz? We'll take him back home. Trotz is one of the best in the NHL. Brindamore is one of the best. Cooper's one of the best. But I got Trotzy above them all. Cooper I have in the top 3, though. But Speaking of coaching decisions, he pulls the goalie with 6 minutes left. And you know what? I don't like this play ever. I don't like it when Patrick Waugh started. I think it's stupid. I think it's desperate. There's too many things that can go wrong. You're down by 2. I get what you're doing, but you got time. I think this is a terrible coaching decision all day, every day, but I'm not an NHL coach. I'm just a coach. And Josh Morrissey ends up capitalizing there by putting it in. Some really nice work by Blake Wheeler to get that puck up the wall. And the Jets end up going and you think, hey, that's it. But no, Ross Colton shows up, gets a goal right away. And you think, hey, maybe the Lightning are going to sneak back into this one, but nope, another empty netter for Paul Stastny, and the Jets get to move on. So 2 empty netters out of 7 goals. Vasilevskiy doesn't have a great day. There's a little bit of pushing and shoving here and there, but this game really doesn't have a lot of implications for either team because the Jets are so far back. I mean, the Jets are going to, I'm always cheering for the Jets. I'm not cheering for them to lose. They got to win every game, but they're clearly building themselves into the spot where they get the worst draft pick possible while being in the lottery and missing the playoffs. It's not where you want to be. 9th and 10th position. That's just terrible in terms of positioning, but hey, somebody's got to fill in there and it looks like it's going to be the Jets this year. So I still want nice things for them. I want them to win. It's a nice confidence builder for them. But at the end of the day, you see that there is a lot of holes in the Jets roster, but even with those holes, when they decide to turn up and play, they can play. I mean, every team in the NHL is going to be good. We've seen bad teams win all year at time to time. We've seen the Habs go on streaks. The Coyotes have had the Jets number. For God's sakes, they're a terrible team. I don't care how many times they win. They stink. Franchise is a joke. 4,500 fans in an arena is embarrassing. Phil Kessel, go eat a hot dog. Okay, not huge implications. Tampa Bay is going to end up playing Toronto in the first round. That's a nasty matchup for the Leafs. I do not like that matchup for the Leafs at all right now. So I think Tampa Bay is going to end up going through that, but we'll cover that as we get closer. The Winnipeg Jets are out of the playoffs. They're likely going to remain out of the playoffs unless they go on a 5 to 8 game heater here. And hey, it starts with 1, so we got 1 down, but we haven't had better than a 3-game win streak all year. So I'm not holding my breath. But I am going to cover it for you. And while you're at it, why don't you check out a couple of these other great videos while you're stopping by. Take a look at some of the modern concepts of playing hockey from Marty St. Louis. It's just been a revelation over there in Montreal and just some of the best coaching I have ever seen. Take that interim tag off him. And Jets fans, hey, if you thought interim tag, look, interim coaches can do it at times too, but Lowry clearly is no St. Louis. So thanks for stopping by and we'll catch you in the next one.